OK，Thank you，先分享到这里好吧？
好，Thank you，梁东。
Thank you very much, Liang Dong, for sharing from your life. Very precious. Let's just take a moment to honor his story, and let's be silent for a moment. Thank you very much. It's so important to hear these stories of people's lives from perspectives, bring out perspectives that one may have never thought of. Thank you so much. I would like to introduce the next speaker, our last speaker for today. Her name is Dr. Samira Naeem. She's from Madhya Pradesh, a state in India. She's a professor of English in higher education with a PhD on Afro-American writers, with 32 years of experience in teaching. In addition to being a professor, she's also a district program leader for the Raja Anand Sansthan, the happiness department of Madhya Pradesh. She's a master trainer for the Election Commission at state and national levels. She also has an association of 20 years with All India Radio as a casual artist. I've seen her creative side in action. Poetry comes out of her effortlessly, like a waterfall. She's a mother and takes amazing care of her family, getting up early to cook 3 meals for the family before rushing off to a very busy day, which starts early in the morning and ends late at night. So like for the other 3 speakers, putting all her experiences into 10 minutes would be impossible. So Samira ji is going to give us a snapshot of some highlights and milestones. So Samira ji, over to you. You have 10 minutes.
Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. In Know Your Neighbor program, after listening to the earlier friends, I'm mesmerized and deeply moved. I hope being the last speaker, I will surely have your undivided attention. I start by remembering a famous poem by Robert Frost written in 1914, Mending Walls. And really, I'm fortunate to be a part of this program, Know My Neighbors. So this is my story, and I look back to narrate it to you. Next, I live in Devas, Madhya Pradesh, a central province of India. It is situated on Malwa Plateau, nearing major cities as to name Indore, the business capital of Madhya Pradesh, Ujjain, the holy city, and Bhopal, the capital of the state. Devas is an industrial town with a blend of religious tinge with the hill of Devi. Next, I come from a family of writers, educationists, lawyers, teachers with a very rich cultural heritage of Indian Muslims. My grandparents were from Lucknow, that is in Uttar Pradesh, and settled in Madhya Pradesh. My grandfather, being a banker, retired and did his hikmat. He was a hakim. He was very much influenced by Gandhian thought and was a part of freedom movement. And his wife, my grandma, was a very dignified lady, well versed in Urdu and English language. All my aunts, uncles, and cousins are highly educated, holding various important posts as professors, writers, and with their progressive being, they are holding a very important position in the society. One of my uncles, Sri Sharad Joshi, has been conferred with Padma Shri for his writings and contribution to society by Government of India. Next, my parents, Professor Naeem and Mrs. Sultana Naeem, were down to earth, progressive, and philanthropic, who reared me to the best possible ways, giving liberty to bloom in various fields of art and culture, significantly providing me a homogeneous secular atmosphere, which is too Indian with an open space for intellect. Next, my father, Professor Naeem, who was a professor of Hindi and retired as a principal, postgraduate college, hold an eminent place in Hindi literature through his poetry, with many publications to his credit. He is a great sculpturist. His exhibition of wooden sculptures were held in many major art galleries of India. As an educationist, he has left a legacy of students for the coming times. Next. This is me and my husband, Mohammad Zakir. I got married in 1992 to Mohammad Zakir, who was a professional in an MNC as a software personnel. He did his SAP in 2003 and was holding a very high position in a pump making MNC, that is Kirloskar Brothers Limited. Ours was an arranged marriage, and we were happy together as a family with a fairy tale story. Next. This is me and my son. My son Danish is of 25 years old, grown-up advocate with his BA LLB degree and a great passion for football. I have tried to inculcate all the ethics and values which I imbibed from my elders. Though he is a lawyer, he is an ethical one. Next. Vandana Anantula, my dear sister-in-law, is a banker and vice president with HSBC Global. And Tanveer, my brother, an event professional, are a great support in my life. Coming from two very different religious backgrounds, their relationship and married life sets an example for the best beautiful Indian harmonious culture. Today is Vandana's birthday, as is for Dwarka. I wish them all the best in their life. Next. Duality in my life. This is me in my village. Started after my marriage, as my father-in-law was a landlord in Rajasthan. Being brought up in urban household in a modern city, I was rarely exposed to such rural life. Whenever I visited my in-laws, I never had any problem adjusting to the rural life. These are few pictures of Indian rural village. In a way, it is my village. Next. This is the first turning point after my marriage. In 2005, as you see the pictures, my husband started serving people instead of companies and tech giants. He led an andolan, an agitation for overflow water of a dam. And this was the first turning point in our life. As I was serving my state as a professor, he serving people of the state. Our place of working and living changed. He was almost 600 kilometers away from my place of working. The consequences of his Andolan confirmed up to me also. A difficult time to remember. But on the contrary, I was also making people understand democracy and how to organize elections, being a resource person with the Election Commission of India. And Zakir, on the other side, played the part of contestant and was elected at the forum of Panchayat. Next. In his mission to serve people and for a cause of development, he met almost all the national leaders of the nation, he is deeply into rural agricultural development. Next. And here comes the second turning point, which came on 24th December 2016. My life had a second reshuffle. That was a mental reshuffle when I joined a meeting of state government in Madhya Pradesh, where a new department started working for happiness, Anand, and mental well-being of its citizen. The very thought of knowing oneself appealed to me so much that I decided to be a part of this mission. A process of connection, correction, and direction moved me to the power of silence, to know myself in totality, correcting the wrong I did, forgiving people, and asking forgiveness filled me up with gratitude. I made my corrections in my life. I agreed and joined MP Madhya Pradesh Rajya Anand Sansthan to be happy and make others happy, rather to bring a change in myself than to change others. Next. This was a new beginning, and I took this on my shoulders. I took the whole process of being silent and being happy to various platforms between officers, next officers and students, students of IIM and officers of the state government and other states also. Simultaneously, I was working as a resource person for Election Commission of India and Madhya Pradesh State Election Commission. Next, please. I was trained very specifically at India International Institute of Democracy and Election Management at national level and visited various provinces during elections to train and teach officials for fair, free, and transparent pollings. Next. After doing genuine corrections, as I removed the jealousy with my colleagues, forgiving my gynecologist, accepting the circumstances of life, I got a stable direction of my life. Now I have dedicated myself to work among all the sections of society, making people aware of being human through Rajya Anand Sansthan of Madhya Pradesh. Next. In the time of pandemics, since March, I'm taking online sessions of Alfiram, that is pause, quiet time, and in last 8 months have outreached almost more than 3,000 people, even COVID-affected persons, and tried to channelize themselves in these times. The last one, this is again, I come to the conclusion as sharing by remembering again Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. Because both of us, me and Zakir, now my husband, now are living a happy life together, having diverged to a life for the cause. That is betterment of society in our own ways through fundamentally different, but for the same great cause that is serving the people of our country, India. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank my Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, our Chief Secretary of Madhya Pradesh, Shri Iqbal Singh Bains, Additional Chief Secretary, Shri Manoj Srivastav, my ex-CEO, Shri Manoj Dubey, my present CEO, who is also present in this session, Shri Akhilesh Argul, my director, Shri Indrapal Singh, today for giving me and the state and to the nation such a platform to learn, know, and serve the people. More to add, I'm grateful and highly grateful to initiatives of change, Mrs. Leena Khatri and Suresh Khatriji, Shri Ravi Rao, Srimati Jayashri Rao, Shri Kiran Gandhi and Neeru Gandhi, Siddharth, Aparna, and all others from initiatives of change who have changed me and given a changed direction to my life. Though highly educated, so esteemed positions and everything, I was unable to rectify my own wrongs, and I did it in last few years. Thank you everyone for being a part of this.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Dr. Samira, for sharing your life, your family, and the work, and also in wonderful pictures, photos, and colors. We also get to witness the richness and diversity of India and the amazing work different people in different sectors are doing for